3 tips that you can use as a beginner to get some better videos with your iPhone. Let's get started. Just a very quick thing before we hop into the 3 tips. In case you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do so. Apparently almost 90% of all people watching these videos are not subscribed, and it's helping the algorithm and it's helping the channel. So thank you very much. But now let's get started. And what's up everybody? In case you're new here, my name is Julian. I'm the creator of Smartphone Filmmaking Pro, and I'm super excited to have you. On this channel, we're all about helping you making better videos with your smartphone. But without any further ado, let's come to the first tip, and that is make sure that you're using the right settings on your smartphone. So what do I mean with right settings? I'll just walk you through the settings that I'm recommending whenever you're filming with your smartphone. First of all, resolution. The resolution that I'm recommending is 4K for most scenarios. In case you're shooting some super slow motion footage, of course you more than likely cannot use 4K, but for 90% of all of the things that I'm shooting, I'm recommending 4K. In case your phone is capable of shooting 8K, then I would say try it out. Maybe it works good for you, maybe it doesn't. It's not necessary in my opinion, and if you have to, you can also drop down to 1080p if your phone is not capable of shooting in 4K, but most phones these days are. So that's the resolution. If possible, shoot in 4K. The next setting is frame rate. And when it comes to frame rates, it depends on what you're shooting, because actually it does make a big difference if you're shooting a talking head, for example, like I'm doing right now, or if you're shooting, I don't know, your kids running on the beach, for example, or whatever it might be. So let's break it down. Like I said before, when it comes to shooting people talking heads in general, I would recommend that you shoot in 24 frames per second, as this is what they're using to shoot cinema movies in, and this creates the most cinematic look. Whenever you're shooting B-roll shots, so these are shots where nobody's talking, that you can cut in between your talking head, for example. I always like to shoot those videos at 60 frames per second. For me, this is whenever I'm filming my friends or my family, or some sporting events, or when people are having fun, or whatever it might be, or kids running on the beach. These are the type of scenarios where I like to shoot at 60 frames per second. And the reason for that is because then afterwards I can slow down my footage to get a nice slow motion effect. The next thing that is very important is framing. And inside of our full course Smartphone Filmmaking Pro, we have 10 rules of composition, but this would just be too much to cover in this video. But the one thing that I would recommend that you should know is the rule of thirds. And when you're using the rule of thirds, basically you are dividing your frame into 9 different sections, and you always try to frame the most important aspect of your video on one of the upper intersections of the lines. This does take some time to master it, and you can also make some mistake whilst you're doing it. Another alternative would be, just as I'm doing right now with this angle, just to frame yourself in the center of your frame, and most of the time this will also look good. Also, in case you're shooting some architecture, then definitely this is a very nice way and a very easy way to get some nice looking shots. And the last thing that I'm always recommending is make sure that you lock your focus and your exposure whenever you're filming with your smartphone. There is nothing more unprofessional than having a constant change of exposure and frame rate and focus. That's nothing that you would see in professional shot videos, so make sure that you lock your focus and the exposure just by long pressing on the screen. But these are all the things that I have to say about settings for now. The second tip that I have for you is invest into some good audio gear. This is something that is very often overlooked by beginners. They always invest into the best camera possible or the best smartphone possible, and some add-on lenses and cages and gimbals and so on. But they do not invest a penny into having a good audio setup. And that is very important. Audio is half of the viewing experience. This is what the internal audio of the iPhone 13 Pro sounds like. And I'm in a pretty busy environment. And this is what the audio sounds like with the Rode Video NTG. As you can hear, it's just much more focused on my voice, and you can hear me much more clearly. So in case you want to capture some audio, make sure that you get yourself a proper microphone. One of the best microphones that I love to use with my smartphone is the Rode Video NTG. This is awesome because first of all, it sounds amazingly well, as you have heard in the clip before. It turns on automatically when you connect it to your iPhone and you do not need any adapter at all. Just plug it in, it recognizes it automatically and you can start using it right away. This is definitely one of my absolute favorite microphones to use, as I can also use it on my professional cameras. So this is absolutely highly recommended, and I will link it definitely down below. And the last tip that I have for you that you can use right away to get some better videos with your smartphone is master some easy movements that you can use with your smartphone. On the channel and also in our course Smartphone Filmmaking Pro, we talk a lot about shooting with gimbals, and trust me guys, I love shooting with gimbals, and the kind of shots that you can get with this is just absolutely next level, and we cannot replace this with some handheld movements. That's just not possible. But knowing a few easy techniques and a few easy movements that you can use with your smartphone, just hand holding it, is just a complete game changer. And the one movement that I would like to give you on the way is called the parallax shot. And you could, for example, frame a friend of yours in the center of the frame, and then you start moving into one direction and you pan the camera into the opposite direction. This creates a very nice orbit effect, as where the background is sort of moving in the opposite direction and the subject always stays in the same position of the shot. And this movement for me personally is my absolute favorite movement, and I'm always and constantly also using this movement for my professional paid gigs with my pro cameras. And yeah, this is just super easy, and the good thing is you can basically use this for every scenario. It's not like you can only use this technique for people or only for, I don't know, subjects laying on a table. No, you can use this for absolutely everything. And the good thing is, if you try or if you decide to invest into a 3-axis gimbal, then you can use the same movement and of course even a lot more, but basically on steroids. But that's basically it. These are 3 tips that you can use right away to improve the overall outcome of your videos. But of course, that's just that much of, this pile of what it really takes to master filming with your smartphone. So in case that's interesting to you, in case you truly want to bring your videos to the next level, you can check out the first link below, that like button. That will bring you to our totally free webinar where I will share the top 5 secrets that it takes to master filming with your smartphone. We've had over 200,000 people go through this webinar and it has a 4.9 star rating. So in case you got a few minutes left, then definitely make sure to sign up and you can basically watch it at any time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and in case you have not seen the comparison of the Science Smooth 5S to the DJI OM6, then watch this video over there.